If you're grinding chess hours every day, hoping to reach your next rating milestone, I've got something important to tell you. Playing too much chess can actually make you worse. I know it sounds crazy, right? But stick around, because in the next few minutes, we're going to break down the science of why playing too much without the right focus can actually hurt your progress. So first, let's start with a simple but common belief of more chess equals more improvement. It's an idea rooted in a popular mantra, practice makes perfect, when in reality it should be perfect practice makes perfect. At least that's what my baseball coach told me when I was about 11. Is this always true? Let's take a step back and examine the logic behind it. Many people assume that simply playing game after game will automatically make them better. Think about it. Most chess players have heard stories about legendary players who spent hours, days, or years owning their craft just through sheer volume. Take someone like Bobby Fischer. He wasn't just playing chess, okay? He was living it. His legendary status partly comes from his obsession with the game, but even Fischer had a lot of deep analysis and thinking in his approach. It wasn't just about playing endlessly. Similarly, today when we look at players like Magnus Carlsen, who's known for his work ethic, but also for the deliberate time he spends reviewing games and understanding his mistakes. But the key here is that it wasn't just the time that he spent playing, it was the quality of that time, what he was doing during that time. So the grind mentality, it can really mislead you into thinking that the more games you play, the better you get. So now let's get into the harsh truth about playing too much chess. Mindless chess practice can actually hurt your growth. Playing without reviewing or analyzing your games, it just reinforces bad habits. If you make the same mistake over and over again without stopping to think about what you're doing, you're just setting yourself up for future failure. So let me give you an example. You're playing an opening and you keep blundering your queen to a simple tactic in the same way. I might as well call you Brick from Anchorman. If you're not actively thinking about why it happened and correcting it, guess what? You'll continue to make that mistake over and over again. It makes sense. Then there's a different crowd of people. The addicted to blitz and bullet people. These game modes are fast, exciting, but they are not the best for long-term growth, guys. When you're racing the clock, you're prioritizing speed over accuracy. Chess isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. That's how you get better, okay? Taking your time. Quick games do not allow you to think deeply about your moves. So while you might get a higher rating in blitz, it's not the same at all as improving your real chess understanding. Next, let's not forget about tilt and burnout. Overplaying without taking breaks, it can lead to frustration, affecting your mindset and causing emotional decisions. This emotional tilt can derail your progress way faster than you think. For example, have you ever been so frustrated after a losing streak that you started playing recklessly? Yeah, it's a clear sign of burnout. And lastly, there's the difference between pattern recognition and deep thinking. Fast-paced games might help you spot simple patterns faster, but they don't teach you how to calculate deeply or think strategically about your moves. It's like learning to recognize shapes, but never truly understanding the geometry behind them. So, what do the best players actually do to improve? Well, here's the secret. They focus on quality over quantity. Top players spend much more time analyzing their games than just playing more. You've probably heard this before, but it is worth repeating. Studying your own games, whether you win or lose, is where the real growth happens. You need to look at each move, analyze what worked, what didn't, and why. And the pros, they don't just look at their losses, they analyze their wins too. Why? Why would they ever do that? Well, because a win can be a great opportunity to learn something new that you might have missed in the heat of the moment, especially when Wins are around half of your games as well. You don't want to just neglect half of your games. Another crucial point is time controls. The top players, they don't just play blitz and bullet games all the time. They make time for classical, long phase games. Slow games give you the time to think deeply about your moves, yes. Your opponent's moves, yes. And your overall strategy. Check, check, check. It's like exercising your chess brain. Faster time controls, they're fun, but slower games develop deep calculation skills and a better understanding of positions. Finally, it's not just about playing. These top players, they balance their play with chess study. This includes, of course, solving puzzles, learning some opening theory, reviewing other Grandmaster games. If you want to grow, you need a structured approach. Games, study, analysis, all together. Now that we've discussed the dangers of mindless practice, let's ask the question, how do you fix it? How can you play smarter and actually improve? Well, here's the solution. You set intentional goals and create a structured training plan. You can start by focusing on specific weaknesses. Instead of just playing more, identify what you want to improve. Do you have trouble with the openings? Well, spend some time learning and practicing them. Struggling with endgames? Dedicate some time to that area. Buy a book. Go over some practice exercises. A structured training plan is key. Mix your gameplay with puzzles, analysis, and study. Doing this will ensure that your practice time is as productive as possible. Try setting aside time every day for puzzles, theory review, and in-depth analysis of your games. And the key here is consistency. Doing it every day is more important than doing 2 hours once a week. Make sure to limit your blitz and bullet sessions. Sure, they can be fun and quick, but use them as a fun break, not your primary tool for improvement. Focus on longer games where you have the time to think and plan your moves carefully. Every loss is a lesson. Analyze your games after every session and be honest with yourself. Be open to seeing what went wrong. Even when you win, ask yourself, what could I have done better? The key is constant, consistent reflection and adjustment. And lastly, learn from stronger players. Watch instructional videos on YouTube. Study their games. Or even hire a coach to help you personally. A coach can help you pinpoint your weaknesses much faster than you can on your own. To wrap things up, don't just play, guys. Let's train intelligently. Let's use our brains. Playing too much chess without a clear focus, it can hold you back, and you'll only reinforce your bad habits. Instead, let's be deliberate about our practice time. Make every game, puzzle, and analysis session count. So, are you just grinding away, or are you actively improving? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more chess tips coming your way. Thanks guys, hope you have a great day.